Bruce Wayne to keep Joker in those cells, in that cell and all that. So the reason of it is that Joker is being kept in Arkham underground, is that they know Joker can cause a riot and anarchy in the Arkham Asylum. Thought that would be a really cool part to add to it. So, in this one, Joker decides to rebel against Bane. He views Bane as someone who keeps order during a time of chaos. So Joker ends up starting his own gang as Bane decides to take over Gotham by blowing up the stadium and all that. So during that time, Bruce is trying to figure out what's going on. So, sorry, I had to burp. So during this time, instead of Gordon being kidnapped and injured by Bane, Gordon decides to, after all what happened, was to go underground as well. Keep away from Bane, and he works with this, he works with Blake, who is of course, a cop. But in this one, Blake is not called John Blake, but instead he's called Richard Grayson, which I decided to put that in there as a cool thing, because I don't know, I always viewed it as that way. So in this one, Daggett is, of course, in this film, he is the one who showed Bane where the bomb is being kept. Instead of fighting Bane, he willingly works with Bane because he wants to get rid of Bruce Wayne as well. What's up, Lilo? My dog just showed up. So, anyway, Daggett, of course, is behind the whole, of course, the stock market being destroyed, the Gotham Stock Exchange being destroyed. The fingerprints, of course, is used as a transaction for Daggett to get money out of Bruce Wayne's account to break him financially. So instead of Bruce being kicked out of his home, he goes underground in the cave. As in one part, of course, one part's kind of crazy, is Joker and his gang shows up at Wayne Manor to loot it. And there's a funny moment where, dude, that was weird, I heard something. Anyway, Joker goes in Bruce's room where all his photographs of everybody in his friends, family is kept. Joker sort of walks around and looks, and he sees a photo of Rachel. And there's this funny moment. Joker goes, "I remember you. I blew you up." Sort of this funny moment where Joker just looks at it and he throws it out the window. Which is kind of a funny moment, because I always thought Joker should have that moment where so Bruce finds out that Joker and his gang is in his home, and Bruce sort of goes through secret rooms in the manor to take out each thug. And there's a moment where Joker and Bruce stand across from each other, and Joker just looks at him, and they sort of have this stare down. But Joker sort of looks at him and goes "I recognize you." And they don't fight. Joker sort of walks backwards And as he does, he throws a bomb. And you sort of look at it in the scene, and Bruce thinks it's like that Bruce doesn't think it's an actual bomb. It ends up being a smoke bomb. And Joker ends up leaving with what's left of his thugs. As Bruce looks around and sees his home ransacked and looted. So he goes back down to the cave. And he gets the file on Bane. So throughout this scene, it's like Alfred and Bruce talk. I don't want to see the one moment where Alfred, of course, there's going to be the moment in the film where Alfred, of course, ends up leaving. But in the film, in this version, he doesn't leave on his own. Bruce sort of goes like, you need to go. You need to get out of Gotham. You need to get away from the city because it's not safe. It's not home anymore. I really liked the moment where Bruce and Alfred, where Alfred says to Bruce, I'm not going to bury another member of the Wayne family. And of course Alfred says that to Bruce, and Bruce, of course, says, I'm going to get out of Gotham and not be buried. So it's kind of like that interesting part of the film. So anyway, in the film with Selina, she is... There's been a lot of weird noise going on in my neighborhood, by the way, so... Like someone was walking in my yard and they stole my trash can. That was pretty fucked up. I'm not making it up. I heard someone steal my trash can in my front yard. I just sort of like was completely dumbfounded, by the way, when someone stole my trash can. I'm careful, love. Anyway. In this film, Selina takes on Daggett. Instead of Daggett being killed by Bane, Selina takes out Daggett and steals back the money that she ends up instead transferring the funds that he stole from Bruce to a private account that only she knows. And nobody knows where the account is going. The account is at, except Selina. So in this story, she has a plan on which she keeps to herself, that she's going to get her sister who's sick and take her to Rome. Because it was her sister's wish to go to Rome and not die in Gotham. So after the work she does for Bane, Bane lets go of the sister to Selina. And there's a moment in the scene where they're at the airport. It's before the entire shit hits the fan, where the bridges are cut off in Gotham and everything. And Selina has this decision to either go with her sister or stay and help Bruce. And Selina decides in her mind that she's going to stay in Gotham and help Bruce take it down. The Joker and Bane. So in this, there's like this one part which I always wanted to see, especially with Joker, is in this moment where Gordon is working with Richard Grayson. Sorry, I was going to say Blake. I just always thought that'd be cool if he was changed to Richard Grayson instead of John Blake, which is sort of a bland name. In my opinion, I always thought that was such a lame name. So, in this story, Grayson starts the Sons of Batman, which is sort of like a reference to The Dark Knight Returns, where there was the Sons of Batman, where they got inspired by Batman after he beat the shit out of the mutant leader. So, the Sons of Batman are the dudes who, if you remember in the Dark Knight film, where they dressed up like Batman and fired guns and all that, yeah, they're brought back. There's this cool moment where they are meeting, setting up a plan to take down Joker gang's post. And during the middle of this meeting, little they know that one of the members of the Sons of Batman turns on them. And they hold Grayson hostage, and Gordon's just standing there holding the gun, pointing at the guy to let the gun down. And Gordon is in the, intense stare down with this guy. Little does he know there's a gun pointed at the back of his head. And all of a sudden he hears a voice saying, "Well, hello, Commissioner." And it's a voice that Gordon recognizes, and he freezes. And he turns around, and there's the Joker pointing the gun at him. And Gordon goes, and Joker says to them, "Let's have a chat." And Gordon gets knocked out and taken to the scene that you remember. If you remember, Crane has his courthouse and casting judgment on those, Gotham. Gordon has a thing. What is it? Like, he has something over his head. I forget what the fuck it is. Like, he has something over his head, and they pull it off, and Gordon is sitting there in the chair, and Joker is looking down at him. And Joker has one of his members bring in the others that knows Gordon very well. And Gordon looks over and he sees his family being brought in. Which kind of is kind of interesting, because if you remember, Gordon's wife and kids left Gotham after Gordon and his wife divorced. So I thought that would be interesting. So, in this one, I'm going to jump forward because we all know what happens to Bruce. He's in the pit, which we're going to have the pit scene, which I always thought The Dark Knight Rises should have been split in 2 films. I felt like it should have been a longer film, in my opinion. So, Bruce is in a pit. Selina's working underground. So, anyway. Joker is having a chat with Gordon. And also the members of the Sons of Batman. That was with Gordon's in there. For Joker to shoot at. So, Joker steps down from the desks instead of sitting up there. And he looks at Gordon. He goes, "Did you miss me?" And Gordon, of course, cusses at him, telling him to let his family go. All that yada yada yada. And Joker goes, "Well, this is a trial, Jimmy." And I decided, Joker should have more of that